अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम सिमी राहील है। वंस अगेन विद अनदर प्रोग्राम टॉक के हवाले से आपके लिए हाजिर हैं। आज के मेहमान, लीडरशिप की जब हम बात करते हैं, बहुत से नाम हमारे जहन में आते हैं, लेकिन एक ऐसा नाम है कि मैं जब भी जिक्र उनका करती हूँ तो ये लफ्ज़ मेरे जहन में आता है, लीडरशिप। ख़वातीन में ये लीडरशिप की क्वालिटी बहुत रेयर है, क्योंकि लीडरशिप जो सारे अल्फाज आजकल फ़ैशन में है ना, उनके हवाले से देखी जाती है। इंक्लूजन, डाइवर्सिटी, नॉलेज। ये ऐसी ख़ातून हैं कि जब भी इनका ख्याल आए ये सारे अल्फाज और लीडरशिप जहन में आता है। Member YPO in this chapter, board member in LUMS and Kashf Foundation, Bata, Pakistan, Kawan Crafts, 22 years of work experience, professional experience focused on delivering transformational solutions, strategic change and DI. ये सिर्फ tip of the iceberg है. She is a wonderful speaker. She's articulate, knowledgeable, enlightened, and her name is Fatima Asad Said from Abacus. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
It is a pleasure to have you.
Always a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much for coming and taking out this time, because I know you're very busy between family and work. You are extremely divided. You know कि किस वक्त कौन सा वक्त देना, तो हमने आपका थोड़ा सा वक्त घसीट के अपनी तरफ कर लिया.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you, Fatima. Okay, today we thought we would have this conversation with you about women empowerment. अब ये लफ्ज़ बड़ा buzzword है, लेकिन empowered women जो होती हैं, they have a very long and hard journey sometimes, because women are put in this box where people idealize them and सोचते हैं कि हाँ, हम इनको कॉलेज भेज रहे हैं, स्कूल भेज रहे हैं, फिर इनकी शादी हो जाएगी, घर बसाएंगे. So marriage is the be all and end all of the ideology of a lot of people for women. But sometimes women like you and others take a journey and excel way beyond the expectations of even themselves. So how did this journey happen? Did you always think that you were going to be on this journey?
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure. And there are times where it is unbelievable to me as well. I'm very grateful. I must say that I'm very grateful to God and all those who have supported me throughout the last so many decades. And that's not just my work journey, but it's also, it goes before that. It's the grooming and the grounding and the values that were instilled right from the crib. Actually, it goes all the way back. And the environment that I was provided by my parents to focus on giving back, that was always a quality that they had and they still have. और उधर से वो सिलसिला शुरू होता है कि ये जो objectives होते हैं, it is beyond yourself. It is not self को project करना. It's more about what can I do which is meaningful, which would add value to others. And if I were to summarize what I have achieved, and inshallah I will continue to achieve, is based on that philosophy. So whatever you contribute, it could be your family and it could be the colleagues and your friends. It is driven by this sense of, am I really adding value? And I am my worst critic. So I will be much more compassionate and generous with others if they don't come up to a certain standard. But I will not be as compassionate to myself. And I feel it's a responsibility that has been given to me, and I must take it very seriously as far as possible. I mean, obviously I do have my down times as well,
yes,
where I just completely switch off.
Of course.
And I believe that is important as well.
Yeah.
But the whole leadership aspect is something that I grew up seeing in my household. My father, mashallah, throughout his own professional life, or even the stories that he would tell us, were incredibly inspiring. And my mother, even though she never worked, but she excelled in whatever she did. Even it was just, they got married in the early 70s. She really wanted to become an engineer. And that in itself was a fascinating. She topped the FSC in 1970 में उन्होंने अपना FSC किया था from Canada, and her name and her picture was published in the newspaper at that time. So she really wanted to go into engineering. उस वक्त UAT did not have women. Then her father helped her, sort of lobby women, and they came back to him finally after a year of lobbying कि ठीक है आप 10 students, girl students को, women students को ले आए तो we will start it and we'll open it. Unfortunately, what happened, or fortunately, I should say, unfortunately for her academic career, she got married right after her bachelor's or during her bachelor's. So exam दे के आई तो फिर उनका निकाह हो गया. Literally ऐसे हुआ. But she was excellent in maths as well. And she was very focused on giving the best to her family. So the motivation came from my father, who is a visionary and continues to be our guiding light. And the leadership qualities and motivation also came from my mother, because she lived her dreams through myself from a female. I have 3 brothers and we're 2 sisters. And through me and my sister as well, she encouraged that. But one thing they always did not compromise on: family comes first. No matter what happens, what your commitments are. And mashallah, throughout my journey, afterwards when I got married as well, it was a totally arranged marriage and I didn't know my in-laws. But I believe I've just been so lucky because of the selection of my parents, and my husband and his family are wonderful people. And they themselves are leaders in their own rights in terms of, again, the values, family values connected very well. And the support that my husband gave. So I feel I'm here today, really, it is because everyone's support. It's not me. It's everyone along the way who has given me that it's all right. Tomorrow is a new day. And kahin na kahin se madad aa jati hai. And that's enabled me to come this far.
Family values always transcend most anything in one's life. They are the wings that carry you to flight. But women, not just in Pakistan, पाकिस्तान से बाहर भी, वो कहते हैं ना वो शीशे की छत जो आपको नज़र आती है, तो क्या वो शीशे की छत आपने ऊपर की है या आप उस तक पहुंची हैं, या वो शीशे की छत अब नीचे आ गई है? आपके इस टेन्योर में जब आपने काम करना शुरू किया और अब आज तक आपको वो शीशे की छत, द ग्लास सीलिंग, कहाँ नज़र आती है?
Times have changed, no doubt about it. When I started working after my MBA, when I graduated from LUMS, I started my work in 1997. So, us waqt fresh out of college and out of university, and I worked over here, I felt that was too far in the future. I started working because I wanted to work. And for me, maybe it's a different journey. It wasn't ke, oh, I have to be the CEO. It was, for me, it was every step I take, it should be adding value. So I know this is a bit different, and people would say, okay, then you're not really consciously looking at that glass ceiling. I said I wasn't consciously looking at it. I just wanted to give back and be the best, excel in that. अगर मैंने ये commitment ली है इस profession में, HR is something that I selected. I come from a family of chartered accountants and finance people, so it just seemed, as कि अच्छा ये भी finance में चली जाएगी, which that was my intention when I started MBA. But for the human connection resonated with me, and that's when I decided in my last term at LUMS, I said, जितने भी हम case studies कर रहे हैं, जितनी भी discussions हो रही हैं, at the end of the day, it's the CEO, the sales manager, the sales officer, the people who are making or breaking the organization. whatever structures you have, whatever policies you have, at the end of the day, it's the person, the human connection, human being that will take it forward. And that fascinated me. So, honestly speaking, I didn't think about the glass ceiling. But if you look at it from a reference right now, I feel the glass ceiling is still there. But things have changed. You have many incredible, competent, capable women who have shattered that ceiling. Times are changing because there are men who are supporting and nurturing that thought process as well. It's always, when we talk about diversity, it's about a partnership. It's never them versus us. The minute we go into the them versus us, then you are breaking down maybe decades of effort in order for women to come into the workforce. And workforce does not mean a 9-to-5 job, by the way. That means that women contributing from an economic standpoint at whatever social strata they may be at. And there's some incredible inspiring stories out there. Women who have nothing, starting from 10-15 hazar and building a whole entrepreneurial venture as well. I've seen it myself. I've talked to these women as well, and giving new hope to the next generation. The other aspect that I would like to highlight, and it's very important in our day and age, we lose sight of it. As mothers, we have such a great responsibility to build the future for the next generation. अब अगर आप educate नहीं करेंगी इन माओं को, and education is of the mind. It's not academic excellence only. It's tolerance, it's harmony, it's just that concept of how do you have that strength of character, character building. पहला आपका education institution is the mother's lap. And the father, of course, but पहले तो माँ देती है ना. तो mothers of today should also realize that they are not compromising just because they've become a masters from the finest universities in the world. They are giving back and building the future for their children. So I feel that because there's this realization, and I see it, there is hope for women coming up into more, shattering the glass ceiling as well. And that's where the inspiration should be. We should not lose sight of the fact that we are contributing if we are nurturing the next generation. And we're contributing if we're in the workplace, working side by side. Qaid-e-Azam ne itna khoob kaha hai कि this country will rise if the men and women work side by side. And I'm a great fan of Qaid-e-Azam. I feel there's so much wisdom and depth in the advice he has given us. If we hear his speeches, if we hear what, he created this amazing country, we are the ones who are mismanaging it. It's got nothing to do with external forces. Yes, obviously we're letting external forces influence the way, but that's a whole different conversation altogether. तो आपने इसको बैलेंस करना है.
सही. कई दफ़ा हम ये सोचते हैं कि ख़वातीन का पावरफुल होना, उनका काम करना सिर्फ पैसे कमाने से ताल्लुक़ रखता है, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है. क्योंकि जैसे आपने कहा, माएँ सबसे ज़्यादा काम करती हैं सिर्फ क्योंकि they are unpaid, their wages are not acknowledged because they are housewives. So people do not consider them doing anything, but they do a lot of work because they are preparing the future generation, good or bad, either way. Do you think feminism and etiquette clash in the sense that women want men to be gentlemanly, pull out chairs for them, open doors for them, yet they don't? Do you think there is a complication there?
I think there's a misconception of what is feminism.
Right.
Feminism is advocacy of equality of rights. It's not about, women should be as equal or, I don't, why? We have been by our creator designed and programmed and wired if you look at from a tech perspective, in a totally, we have a different purpose to serve in society. Celebrate that purpose. And जब पार्टनरशिप की बात करते हैं और आप अगर वर्क फोर्स के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखते हैं, आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम करते हैं, सबका एक रोल एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होता है. सीईओ का एक होता है, मैनेजर्स का ये होता है, यू नो चीफ फाइनेंशियल ऑफिसर की एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होती है. It's the same concept of saying, oh, but we are all working in this organization. Why shouldn't we be doing exactly what the other person is doing? It's the same philosophy behind everyone has their certain role and responsibility with a certain diversity and inclusion perspective to it. तो उसी चीज़ को आप फेमिनिज्म पे अप्लाई करें. हम थोड़े से एक्सट्रीम हो जाते हैं in terms of its definition. That's just my view. So if it's equality of rights, it's about a dignity and respect for both genders. It goes hand in hand. And it's a cultural failing, I feel, which is not allowing women to have that right. If you look at it from a religious perspective, Hazrat Khatija alayhi salam, she was the first woman of Islam to be working. And she worked side by side with our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and built this entire religion and communicated it. I mean, if you really think about it, but she was a working person.
Yeah.
At no point in time was it said, okay, you sit at home and not do this. So the point is to understand the concept of feminism, and etiquette is different. Etiquette is behavior and manners. I pity the society which forgets their manners.
बिल्कुल सही.
Honestly, I mean, what are we without manners? फिर तो हम, even the animals would become better than us. No offense meant to anyone, but that's what it is. एक तरबियत होती है, एक शऊर होता है, कैसे आप एक दूसरे से आप खलूस से बात करें, और एक human connection होता है. और अगर someone is being courteous enough to do that, that courteous is a value. Why are we losing sight of that?
Fatima, this is something personal which bothers me, because I have spent 30 years trying to work on a balance in the context of society and religion as far as men and women are concerned. But when जिस तरह औरत मार्च हुआ था, उसमें there were fragments of people who don't understand the dignity and the journey of women who have worked. They did not talk about equal pay. They did not talk about spaces. They did not talk about so many things that make a difference in the workplace. But they talked about so many things that created a backlash to the movement itself. Yes. So what's your perspective?
जैसे we were just talking about कि we are all triggered by certain personal events and personal traumas. Unfortunately, in some households, maybe the personal trauma is so bad that it makes one very negative towards a certain gender. And then the thought process is promoted by a certain mindset that is there. So, वो फिर derail हो जाता है. That is why it gets derailed and you lose focus of what are you actually fighting for. I also disagree with some of the factors which were promoted or highlighted, but then there were some very positive messages that also came out. हमने as a woman, whether it is in the workplace or in the home, we must learn to be discerning. And we must surround ourselves with like-minded people. That's very important. वो कहते हैं ना कि एक energy होती है. We all matter and energy, right? So we exude a certain energy. If there's the same wavelength, we must encourage to have those conversations which are meaningful. So it should not just be because I want to be in this particular space. But at the same time, seek out men who also support that. I feel in my own journey in the professional 22 years and then with Abacus as well at the role that I'm at, I'm very grateful for the confidence the men also have. And there are times, and this is a message I would like to give the women, we tend not to support each other as positively. I've had incredible experiences where the men have been much more compassionate and understanding of certain situations. You know, as a working mother, कोई crisis हो जाती है, कोई बच्चा बीमार हो जाता है, I can't make it somewhere. They have been more receptive and understanding than some women. Even though I have had the good fortune to work with and be supported by some incredible working women as well. That is a given. तो ये हमें also एक barrier cross करना है कि एक दूसरे को support करना है और वो घर से ही शुरू होता है. That's why I keep on getting back to the house. That typical scenario of, you know, the daughter-in-law and mother-in-law, unfortunately, it's also मीडिया भी थोड़ा सा उछालता है उसको, you know, dramas में भी आते हैं, stories में भी आते हैं, books में भी आते हैं. Maybe I don't come from that perspective because I've had such a positive experience. My mother-in-law is a fantastic individual who is so learned and such depth in her character. And she has raised, and I don't say that because he's my husband, she's raised a fine human being who understands how to respect women.
That's a huge achievement.
And that is, I think, an incredible achievement. And that in itself gives me the power and the confidence to go out into the world and do whatever I can. So the journey goes on. It's about knowledge and then applying that knowledge. That's where wisdom comes. It's about having the sense of purpose, which is beyond yourself. हम लोग आज इधर हैं, कल नहीं है, अल्लाह का निज़ाम है. आप एक्चुअली छोड़ के क्या जा रहे हैं? आपकी लेगेसी या तो आपके बच्चे होते हैं या जो आपका इन्वायरमेंट होता है जहाँ आपने कुछ होपफुली हासिल भी किया होता है और वापस भी देना है. एंड उसमें हर चीज़ उसमें शामिल हो जाती है, फ्रॉम योर चाइल्डहुड टू व्हाटएवर लाइफ गॉड हैज़ गिवन यू. But we must be there to collaborate, to support each other. If that becomes our focus, all of these challenges and whoever approaches you from a positive angle. We have to break down the negativity. And if I just link it up to this amazing country that we have, I have a great faith because the next generation, which is, 60% of our population is under the age of 30. 30% under the age of 14. Look at the incredible number of human beings who are coming in and they have access to technology and they're just changing the paradigm. It is our responsibility to give them the direction with a bit of experience जो हमने और wisdom थोड़े hopefully acquire कर लिया.
बिल्कुल नहीं, थोड़ा सा नहीं फातिमा, बहुत माशाल्लाह. And the thing is that I know for a fact that you generously give of your learning, your wisdom, your time, not only at home but also to the world at large. I know that you do that.
As much as I can.
Yes, and thank you for being here and sharing all that with us. I mean, it's a real honor to have you.
It's an honor for me and a privilege, especially sitting with you and having such a wonderful gupshup. It's always an inspiration.
Thank you so much for being here. हम मर्द हों या औरतें हैं तो हम इंसान, इंसानों का तवाज़ुन बराबर होना चाहिए. मुआशरे की बका, हमारा आगे का रोशन मुस्तकबिल सब इस पे डिपेंड करता है. हमारे बच्चे ये उम्मीद लेके पैदा हुए कि हम उन्हें वो राह दिखाएंगे जो असल में उनकी होनी चाहिए. मर्द और औरतों की अगर लड़ाई हो तो कहाँ जाएंगे हम? ये लड़ाई नहीं है, ये तो कोalition है. We need to move ahead with each other, with the love and respect and honor that we have for humanity. We will be back with you with another program from Talk. Khuda Hafiz.